There's the next topic. Pregnant Rihanna.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Crotch
Everybody.
Pregnant
Everybody.
Rihanna.
Is she? No.
Yeah.
Like, she can't just be fat.
Oh, yeah,
This
no.
can't.
Right in the stomach.
Yeah, so we were at family's house and everything was coming out of the TVs, like sound, and Angela's like, let's just wait till we go home to watch it. Because she wants to hear it. She wants to experience it because it's kind of like a mini concert, I guess. And so she wasn't having it on the TVs. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Did you guys watch it in 4K HDR? Because the Super Bowl was broadcast for what is it, Xfinity, Comcast, or something?
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Did you have to through an app?
I streamed it from Fox on my phone, and they cast it.
Was it 4K?
Honestly, I don't even know. I was watching my grandbaby.
It didn't matter.
Michael. Were you watching on your TV or your theater?
No, I was at my son's house.
Oh, okay.
So, so I was watching on his. He's got a 75-inch OLED, I believe.
Angela says they're not worthy of Rihanna. I just learned it's Rihanna, not Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
What?
Anna,
Really?
A-N-N-A.
Yeah, I swear. You're supposed to say Rihanna. Okay.
Well, it's not because of the Fleetwood Mac Rhiannon, right? Like, it's not the same name, but I've never heard anybody say it that way, other than something similar to Rihanna.
Yeah, we were watching that some Forbes thing, and they were just saying, it's actually Rihanna, and I guess she was the first billionaire to do a halftime show. Interesting stuff.
Makes sense.
So hold on, what's this? 4K
Hold on, Dr.
HDR,
Dre. Hold on, Dr. Dre was made a billionaire when he signed a deal with Apple Music.
Maybe,
but him and Jimmy Iovine split the deal, so maybe he wasn't a true billionaire. I don't know.
I would be surprised if he wasn't almost like.
I think he probably. I know. Well, yeah. Anyway,
it's almost like a billion's like not even. It's like a million before. You know what I mean? Like you see, like who's a billionaire? You guys are. Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Can't imagine.
What is this 4K HDR that you're talking about, though, Chana?
Looks like Fox had it in 4K Dolby Vision or something like that.
Some are saying it's upscaled 1080p.
Even the 4K feed was 1080p upscaled. There's a cool video about it on Digital Trends. Yeah, they probably cover. I think that's where I saw it at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Beyonce is a billionaire. When she married Jay-Z.
Hold on. So it says that her net worth is $500 million. Beyonce's.
So she's only a billionaire because of Jay-Z, right?
And Dr. Dre said 850. Dr. Dre said, nothing, you idiots. Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement.
I told you, Angela, he knows all the Eminem.
Yeah.
I was telling him, showed her the 8 Mile with the Clarence thing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Like, Yara knows all the words to this. I think he's a fan.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
But yeah, no, interesting, right? 4K HDR. I always wonder, this is like the biggest event, and most people are watching that in what 1080.
I don't know.
1080. Like what I was watching it on at family's house, it looked like 1080 if you're lucky, because it was coming off a streaming stick, So
I know
it has the macro blocking. So it's just interesting because you think like, oh, people are they're selling TVs for the big game,
right?
Big event, and then you go look, you're like, that's what people are watching.
Like I'm impressed.
The best was that TikTok of the guy that was so pissed that he threw his drink at the TV and then started banging on the TV at somebody else's house.
Oh wow!
Because he lost all his money from whatever he bet on.
Funny.
And everybody in the party's like, what the hell's actually happening? But yeah, Chris Wyndham says it. They need 4K cameras.
Is that what it is?
Like they have over the last Super Bowl little thing I saw was they have over 100 cameras at the stadium. So imagine having just the data that you would have to broadcast. Like what kind of pipe would you need to flush all that data from 100 some cameras? It's a lot. Like 4K.
It still amazes me every time I watch any kind of sports, especially in the NFL. Even just how they're doing the video processing, the overlays they put on the on the fields and stuff. I'm like, dude, that's slick, man.
All the lines they put on the field.
I mean, everything, man. The camera work, My wife asked, she's like, is that a drone? I'm like, no, they use like little cables. And
yeah.
It's wild, man.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a guy, I distinctly remember, I'm like, hey, there's a guy with a steady cam running out there on the field. So once the ball is dead and the the play is over and the whistle's blown, they're allowed to run out with the camera. And so they have this like,
oh, interesting.
Like I've seen it. It looks like it makes it look like a video game. One of the writers like Madden video games where like it's all close up, everything's blurred out. They got like crazy depth of field, and just the players are like congratulating each other, for the touchdown or whatever. Like that's a new thing that they kind of started this year. And so guys will just run out there with steady cam and just get close up shots after like something big happens.
Right.
But I've never seen one actually on the field from a different camera angle. I was just like, hey, look at that guy. What is he doing?
You guys are gonna laugh at this. Let me try to find this picture Angela took. So I guess a lot of these things that are broadcast are in surround sound, like at least 5.1, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always curious, like, what are they putting into those other channels, right?
It's like audience noise, right?
Probably.
Yeah, but so all right, check it out. In my living room, I don't have an AVR. I'm doing a test to see if I could do surround sound without having an AVR. So I don't actually have like surround speakers. I don't have rear surround speakers. So look what I put in. So I'm using one of those SVS like transmitters, and Angela took a picture of me. Look at this. It's in my kitchen because my kitchen's behind the living room, right? Like one of those.
The speaker.
And look, I have one in the dish. I have one of those powered Noomies, Aaron.
Yeah.
With the wireless transmitter, and I'm just listening to hear what's in. This is what I do, guys. If you want to know,
this is scientific. I'm telling you what I do. This is legit. Like,
if you want to know what obsession looks like,
this is what I do for you guys, right?
So, that is a controlled test right there. If I've ever seen one,
look at how that's perfect right there. See, but yeah, I wanted to know what was happening in the rear speakers, and it doesn't sound like even like real crowd noise almost. Like if you were to record the crowd, you'd hear people
like AI,
talking,
maybe.
Right? You'd hear. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Just mumbling. There'd be like words you can distinguish, right?
You'd hear like, yeah, look at this. People cussing. It's an event. You would hear, but it's almost like you can kind of almost hear words. Like, how does that work? How do you not get people talking? What are they capturing? It just sounds like a almost like fake crowd noise.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's
I just thought it was interesting. Sometimes when they do a chant, then you'd kind of hear like it's almost like they blurred it, Imagine they captured the crowd noise and blurred it. So anyway, just thought it was interesting that it wasn't a distinct sound that you could hear. So yeah. Aaron, you didn't watch it at all.
No, I didn't, man. I was trying to do other stuff at the house with the new place, so I did not watch it. But I went back and watched. Sorry, my mind. I'm reading over here the different trailers. So I mentioned to you guys this morning, like the Flash trailer, and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That looks good,
dude. Both of them. I didn't expect much from the Flash trailer, but when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, I'm so in because of Michael Keaton.
When I saw him come on, he's like, he was like, I was just waiting for him to say, he's like, I'm Batman. I was like, oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, that was
good, man. That's gonna be
fun.
That's
your guy, right? That's the best Batman according to you.
That is.
That's gonna be fun.
That's the best Batman.
The action looked great, man.
It did.
I think it's gonna be fun. Definitely could even be like demo material,
Yeah, it could be. Has a potential if they don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if I saw the Tubi TV commercial, and I did. Did you see that?
That ad got everybody second guessing. That ad tricked everybody.
Okay. So
my daughter told me about
who didn't see.
My daughter
the
told
people
me
who didn't
about
see. Explain it.
Okay. Basically, you're watching the game, and all of a sudden, as if you had Tubi, boop, the little menu comes on for the guide, and like the cursor starts moving around to change the channel to a different show. And then everybody's like, hey, what? Like my wife was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing shit. I'm not touching any controllers, you know? And like, I'm like, oh my God, this is a genius ad. I'm like, this is still the ad. And they're like, what the heck? And we had some guests over. I'm like, oh my God, that's very clever. Yeah.
You get it though? You don't understand what we're saying, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm actually watching it right now. It's only a 15-second ad.
Yeah,
that's pretty
so
clever.
I was like, so it didn't trick me because I wasn't at my house at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we were all sitting outside. Like I could see everybody, right? Nobody was doing anything. I'm like, what kind of commercial is that? That looks like a commercial that you would see. It looks like the kind of commercial you'd see, like, you know, when you download an app.
Right. They didn't show you anything. Like they didn't say anything. Like it was nothing. Like and that was the beauty of it. It was just literally to catch people off guard and be like, wait a second, who's changing the channel? Don't change the channel.
That's good.
like Bodie McPhee. Are you crazy? I'm not changing from the Super Bowl. Yeah. No, that was
hilarious. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, we were watching on DirecTV, so I'm like, what is happening? She's like, why are you changing it? I'm like, we're on DirecTV. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's an ad. I'm like, this is so good.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah. I think Tubi should win because they didn't have any talking in it. And it was probably the most interactive ad that everybody saw.
Did they have any like clicking sound, like going through the menu?
Oh yeah. I think
it kind of sounded like you're like click, click, click.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. So
yeah, it looks like a lot of people got
and they did it in like the fourth quarter. So people had already been drinking, you know, they're already loose. I bet you because we were talking about it, I bet you some people got into fights. So like, what are you doing? I'm not doing it. Yeah, you are. You can totally see people getting into fights.
The comments here are pretty funny. Where's James Coleman? My wife was like, dude, go watch that in another room. I'm not doing that. That is funny. Ike said, I thought it was my remote. That's great.
Yeah.
Make sure to join us every Monday for our live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/Daily HiFi.